It's America's coolest conservative and the future king of talk radio. 107.9 FM WBT presents The TJ Ritchie Show.
Yes. Oh, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I have something new. I've been thinking about myself a lot. So tonight, I want to reiterate that you are listening to Radio Royalty, the undisputed king of Charlotte radio, and you can just call me King Conservative. 704-570-1079 is the phone number if you want to call King Conservative. You want to text King Conservative, then that is driven by Liberty Buick GMC. There will be no King's protests against King Conservative, the king of Charlotte radio, because people know better. King Conservative. He is I, and I am him. So my home state of Louisiana is the major top story around the country today. So get a little feel for that. Go down on the bayou for just a minute. Let's go.
Got the fever for the bayou.
Yeah.
Muddy water take me home. Got the fever for the bayou.
The landmark
Take me home.
Supreme Court case. Louisiana redistricting map. They have said pretty much all you need to know without getting into the weeds of the decision and the dissent and all of the stuff. Shockingly, you can't draw district maps for voting based on race. Oh, God. Oh, no. How crazy is that? Who would have ever thunk that you can't draw a district map for voting based on people's race? Oh, well, everybody's in an uproar now. Not everybody, just the lunatic liberals and the Democrats that run that party pretending to be upset like they don't know why this has come down the way it has. Oh, the shock. Oh, the Voting Rights Act has been turned on its head. Oh, my God, what are we going to do? But in Florida, they have moved forward in the, I think the House and the Senate in Florida has approved a new redistricting map that makes things fair. Because what happens is the Democrats go in and they gerrymander. It was, sick of hearing that word, but that's what they do. They gerrymander. And they cheat, because that's the only way Democrats can win elections is by cheating. So when they cheat and then Republicans get in charge and they come back and they go, well, you know what, let's straighten this out and make it fair again, put it back to where it was, or let's do something that makes it fair, then the Democrats, lose their excrement. Now, this was a scene in the Florida House of Representatives today. There's a representative named Angie Nixon. She didn't like the news that the Senate had approved and the House had approved a new redistricting map in Florida. She happened to be wearing a pink outfit, and she had a pink bullhorn. And so she's just walking up and down the aisles in the House, yelling into this bullhorn like a maniac. And the fact that it happened to match her outfit, I'm sure was just a coinky-dink. It's not performative at all. So she's from Jacksonville. She happens to be running for U.S. Senate. So, again, just a coincidence, not really, just trying to draw attention to herself because she's in a race for U.S. Senate to try to get a promotion, so to speak. This is what she was doing. Listen.
Destroy our democracy. This is a violation of the Constitution. It is. It's a violation of the Constitution. I'm out of order, but y'all are doing illegal.
Representative Persons Mullica has waived closed. The question now recurs on final passage of HB 1D. The clerk will unlock the machine and the members will proceed to vote. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? The clerk will lock the machine and announce the vote.
83 yeas, 28 nays, Mr. Speaker.
Show the bill passes. Read the next bill.
None on the desk, Mr. Speaker.
Oh, my God. And, you know, her white Democrat colleagues, they're cheering her on because they're like, yeah, get out there. You get out there and you make a fool of yourself. Get our point across. You go out there. You go, girl. Go, girlfriend. Go. Let them know. You get out there and show yourself to be a trashy, uncivilized moron and do the dirty work for us, just like they always do, following that white Democrat playbook. Get out there, make an idiot out of yourself, show people what a stooge you are, and draw attention to this matter. Now, one thing that the Democrats always depend on is the fact that they have dumbed down the education system by making it a Marxist system for so many years, that all they've got to do whenever something happens that they don't like is that they run out and start saying it's unconstitutional, because they know that the idiots who have graduated in the public school system don't know that it's not. They don't know that they're lying. Because the Voting Rights Act says nothing about districting. You know who said that? Who affirmed that? Clarence Thomas, Justice Clarence Thomas. So I believe Justice Thomas over this stupid stooge idiot running up and down the House of Representatives in Florida like a nitwit, yelling and screaming. I mean, it reminds me of one of these videos on TikTok where, and I know if you've looked at social media at all and you see when somebody's order gets done wrong at a fast food place, and then the customer just starts going on a rampage and throwing things and screaming and yelling and acting a fool. That's what this reminded me of. No different than that. She just is a state representative running for U.S. Senate, acting like she doesn't have a lick of sense, which obviously she doesn't. Running up and down, screaming into a bullhorn that matches her outfit. Nice. Perfect. Well done. That is awesome. I couldn't have drawn that up any better. You know, if somebody said, when I woke up this morning and got ready, you know, at 3 o'clock this morning to do my other job. Yeah, have I ever told y'all I have another job? I do a morning show. I'm actually the king of morning radio in the country. So that's another king title I have. But anyway, if somebody would have woke me up this morning and said, hey, if you could draw up any type of plan to make somebody look like an idiot today, what would you do? I'd say have an elected Democrat in Florida run up and down the aisles of the House of Representatives with a bullhorn that matches her outfit, bright pink, screaming nonsensically while they're trying to pass a vote on a redistricting map. That would have been my wish for the day. And I got it. How delicious. How delicious is that? She did look lovely, though. She looked very lovely, screaming and yelling like a maniac. Speaking of maps, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to make a cheesy, big-time radio segue there. The material I have for you tonight is all over the map. You talk about maps. Oh, we're going to go from climate change agenda to Planned Parenthood and Woke County, North Carolina. Not Wake County, but Woke County. I've deemed them Woke County. I don't know if anybody else has called them Woke County instead of Wake County, but if so, then they're pretty clever, just like I am. All right, so we'll get to all of that stuff in due course here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So you just hang on. Don't touch that dial. You don't know where it's been. We'll be right back.
It's TJ, the green-eyed patriot, on Charlotte's FM News Talk 107.9 WBT. Delivering pinpoint political and cultural analysis with wit and Southern charm. It's the TJ Ritchie Show on 107.9 FM WBT, Charlotte's FM News Talk.
The most famous and legendary active radio personality in Charlotte. The lightning running through my veins, ladies and gentlemen. The Big Daddy of Charlotte radio. Woo. So I was just thinking, maybe I'll let the liberals who secretly love me so much, they lash out and act like they hate me. They listen to the show every night, so they love me. They're obsessed with me. Absolutely obsessed with me. So maybe we can take a vote from only the lunatic liberals, the weak-minded, stupid, left-wing lunatics. You can vote. I'll either be known and call myself more often King Conservative, the King of Charlotte Radio, or the Big Daddy of Charlotte Radio. I'm going to use them all because it's true, I'm all those things. But which one, I'm going to let the libs vote, do you think I should use more often? King Conservative or Big Daddy of Charlotte Radio? It's up to you. 704-570-1079. Text in quickly. We'll do a survey. Now, if you are a normal person and you're smart and you're not one of the stupid liberals, then just let them go right now. Let them send their votes in. Don't crowd them, No sudden movements because they're shifty and shady and just disgustingly trashy. So don't mess with them. As a matter of fact, I don't want any normal people texting right now at all because I don't want you to get any of what they have on you. I don't want you to catch anything that they've got. So stay back for just a little bit. Let them text. Because when your messages come in, they're stacked on top of each other. And I don't want any good conservatives, normal Americans, to catch any disease that the leftists, Marxists have when they're texting in here. So just give them a few minutes to clear out. Okay. We'll let that settle for a minute. But, if you've heard this show at all, you know that I am a true believer in the fact that you can judge a book by its cover. As a matter of fact, most of the time, whatever something looks like is usually the way it is. Now, I don't go in for all that. You can't judge a book by its cover. Never. I always judge people and things by the way they look, first and foremost. And especially when we're talking about leftists. I can spot one from a mile off. Even before I can smell them, I can see them, and I can tell you, okay, that's a leftist. That's a liberal. Ugh. They make me sick. But this guy fooled me. I have a clip from the social medias. And this guy's sitting in his car. He's got a manly looking, long beard. He's wearing a hat. Looks like he would be a masculine guy. And the caption on the video said something about his having Trump derangement syndrome. And I was like, this guy? That is so weird. Now, I do see it from time to time because I'm combing that social media, the TikToks and the Instagrams and all of that. I'm all over that stuff, looking for material that maybe not every other host on the station is digging up. Because I want to bring you a fresh show and a fresh perspective on things. So I go through all of that stuff so you don't have to. And I mean, it's rotten. A lot of it's just rotten. So I will see a masculine man on there sometimes who's a leftist going off about Trump or something. And it's so awkward. And then, you know, you just have to realize, all right, well, that's when you're reminded that not all gay men are feminine. Some of them are masculine. But a masculine gay guy is also the target of the left. They don't want masculine gay guys representing them. So I do get fooled from time to time. But I was only fooled by this guy for just 1 second when I looked at him. When I started the video and heard him speak, then it all went into place, because you can tell as soon as he starts speaking that he's feminine. He's a fem boy. All right, listen.
If I knew nothing about Donald Trump, like who he is or what he's done, I would still know everything I needed to know about him based purely on the fact that he signs off with the phrase, "Thank you for your attention to this matter." And if you've ever had a manager that does that, you know what the f*** I'm talking about.
If you've ever had a manager that does that, then you know what I'm talking about. If I didn't know anything about Donald Trump, let's do it again. Let's see. See if I can get it.
Even if I knew nothing about Donald Trump.
Even if I knew nothing about Donald Trump.
Like who he is or what
he's about.
He's done. I would still know everything I needed to know.
Or what he's done. I would still know everything I needed to know about him.
Based purely on the fact that he signs off with.
Based purely on the fact that he signs off on all of his tweets with "Thank you for your attention to this matter." So he's going off about that. That's how he knows that Donald Trump is a sorry SOB. That's how I know. If I didn't know anything about Trump and the way that he is, or anything about him, and he does what he does, I would know everything I need to know about him and his personality, because he signs off on his tweets by saying, "Thank you for your attention to this matter." If you've ever had a manager that says that, then you know what kind of person he is. Ugh, how sickening is that? And the fact that he's making the video in his car is just another thing that women do. You know, those deranged leftist women. So what I'm saying here, ladies and gentlemen, is that I misjudged someone for a split second. I'm usually so dead on with my judgments of people. When I judge people, it's spot on 99.9% of the time. I am a great judger. And I know the Bible says we shouldn't judge people, but we shouldn't judge people lest we be judged. I'm judged all the time. So if I'm getting judged all the time, then I think I need to be judging as well. And I'm a good judge. I need a gavel and a robe. That's how good of a judge I am when it comes to judging liberals. Here come the judge. Here come the judge. That's what my theme music needs to be. Here comes the judge. And that should tell you everything you need to know about me, is that I'm a great judge when it comes to judging liberals. How do you like my beard? And when I say my beard, I actually mean my facial hair. I literally mean my facial hair. Not the woman that I'm married to that throws people off the scent of the fact that I'm gay. Not that beard. I mean my whiskers. So that should tell you everything you need to know about Donald Trump, and also everything you need to know about the most famous and legendary active radio personality in Charlotte, the Big Daddy of Charlotte radio, soy el jefe de la radio. All right, so let's aggravate them tonight, ladies and gentlemen. That's the mood of the show. Let me look and see real quick if they're through texting, so normal people Normal people can get in here without catching any diseases from them. Okay, let's see. All right, well, okay, all right, so I do like the fact that you're calling me Your Majesty. I like that. But let's let these diseased liberals get in here and get in and out so normal people can go back to talking. I don't want, listen, it's for your own good. Normal people stop texting right now. Okay. All right, thank you. TJ, you're cracking me up. It took me a bit to love your show, but okay. All right, thank you. But please, save yourself. Save yourself. Don't catch anything off of these mentally deranged idiots that are texting in here voting as to whether or not they would rather me be called the big daddy of Charlotte radio or King Conservative. They are loving this little survey. I'm giving them attention. That's what they want. So let's let them have their attention, and then we'll fumigate the place. We'll fumigate the entire text thread, and then normal people can come back in. All right. So 704-570-1079. Only deranged liberals text right now. Normal people, save yourselves. I'll let you know when it's safe to come back in. All right. So we'll see what we can get coming up next. Hang on.
TJ, the realist Ritchie, on 107.9 WBT, Charlotte's FM News Talk. If you're an emotionally fragile liberal and would like to complain to WBT management about TJ, don't waste your time. They don't like him much either. Back to the TJ Ritchie Show on 107.9 FM WBT, Charlotte's FM News Talk.
Yeah. America's coolest conservative, secretly loved by the liberals that listen to this show. Oh, I know you love me. I know you love me. You love me so much, I know you do. Don't even try to be acting like you don't. Sending your nasty messages up in here. Look at you. Look at you. I see you. I see you. Look, hey, listen, do you normal smart people want to hear what the idiots are saying? I don't usually read their messages because I don't like giving them attention, but I've actually asked for the attention tonight because I want them to know. I want them to know that I care what they think. I care about their needs, their desires, and whether they want me to refer to myself more often as a king, because I know they're all about no kings, but I am the king of radio in Charlotte. Hell, I am the king of radio probably in the country right now. I'm radio royalty. There's no doubt about that. If you had a radio royalty in category, I would be in it. That's for real. I don't brag about that in normal instances. I do that just to aggravate the liberals, but it is true. And with King Charles up in the United States for the past couple of days, it's gotten me to think, you know what? Liberals, they roll the red carpet out for that type of royalty. You know, they say, and I know a lot of conservative commentators have made this comparison and pointed out the hypocrisy that stupid liberals, stupid Democrats, you know, say they don't want king. They protest against kings, no kings, no kings. And then the real king comes in there, rolling the red carpet out for them. I get that. So now I'm wanting them. I know that they love kings. So I know they really secretly love me, so they can refer to me as a king. So you want me to be the big daddy of Charlotte radio, or do you want me to be the king of Charlotte radio, king conservative? This one says, I don't need attention from a no-name, low-minded species like you, stupid moron. That's brilliant. Low-minded. So let's see. Here's how you know that they really love me. This person has already sent 5 texts, and I haven't even been on for an hour tonight. I see you, Alabama, the 256 area code. First one came in and said, I watched a bunch of your morning podcasts, and I now I understand why you don't like all of these. Famous Hollywood star. It's simply due to their political standpoint. Pathetic. Loser, just like all those stupid Republicans. What an ugly voice. I don't need attention from no name. I think it's great, though, that when preschoolers are allowed to text radio shows at night, I think that's cool. Good job. Good for you. Somebody obviously has learned from Miss Rachel how to text in here. Let's see. That's a normal person. That's a normal person. I just hope you've all been vaccinated against liberalism, because you're going to catch it. I tried to warn you, texting on top of these liberals. What's this one? Let's see. That's another complaint. Dude, just caught your show a few weeks ago. Now listen every chance I get. You're up to 12 listeners. I make a dirty dozen. Yeah, I voted to call you. You're mad. Okay. I'm trying to warn you people. So, they can't even follow directions. Simple instructions. I said, I'm going to give you liberals the path in here. Tell me. I will go with what you say. King conservative or Big Daddy of Charlotte radio, and they can't even follow instructions. Dang. Don't say I didn't give you the chance. Don't say I'm not fair, because I'm fair. Here's okay, this is a good one. It just says you suck. All right, well, I'll take that as you want me to call myself King Conservative. So since they can't decide, I'll just call myself those things equally. I'll balance it. Man. You try to be inclusive. They say that's what they want. They want inclusiveness, inclusivity. Oh, can we be more inclusive? And there I welcome them with open arms into this show, into the text forum. I even told my people, I even said, get out of their way. They just couldn't handle it. Just could not handle it. Can you imagine going through life, though, the way they do? Miserable all the time. And when I say they, I'm just talking about your average, for lack of a better term, liberal. They get worked up so easily, whipped into a frenzy, never stopping to think, you know what, I've got it pretty, no matter what my situation is, I've got it better than a lot of people. You know, they don't stop to be grateful for what they have. Like, they're not grateful to the taxpayers for, giving them, well, not giving them money, but taxpayers having their money taken from them and then confiscated and given to these leftists so they don't have to work or anything. They don't show appreciation for it. It's just take, and then still be miserable. Just like today, it's the little things in life that we as conservatives stop and think, you know what, this, no matter what's going on, this is a pretty good moment right now. The small victories in life. And that's mainly because we're not godless like they are, and we can stop and, say, you know what, I've been pretty blessed in this moment right now. Today, I did all the research for this show, a good bit of it today, sitting on my porch out here at my palatial estate on Lake Norman. And I had a premium imported hand-rolled cigar that was so big as in long. The ring gauge of it wasn't huge because I don't like that. I have a small mouth, and also the bigger the ring gauge of a cigar, I think it has less flavor. So I like a smaller ring gauge. But it was so long and so well built by beautiful Dominican hands that cigar lasted me. I'm not joking. I put a stopwatch on it when I started it. It was a relaxing 1 hour and 45 minutes of enjoying that delicious premium imported cigar smoke made by those beautiful little Dominican hands. And I studied up on the issues of the day to prepare this show tonight to bring to you my people, the people in TJ's kingdom. And I sat there and I thought, what a great day. What a great hour and 45 minutes that I have had here, preparing to labor, preparing to slave over this hot microphone, to bring a message of hope and joy to the people who have had the stresses of their day. Bring them down. People who have had to deal with the idiots on the left, worrying day to day that these lunatics are going to mess up our country, take away our freedom just through their stupidity. But I prepared this uplifting message tonight in a way that other people in other countries would just think they had died and gone to heaven, to be able to sit for an hour and 45 minutes and relax. Yet, what happens when I hit the airwaves? These leftists start losing their excrement. They just love to hate. Can you imagine going through life like that? You smart people, the 11 listeners, the TJ radio family, you appreciate what I bring you every night. They're not smart enough to appreciate it. They're not smart enough to enjoy the enhancement of their lives that I could bring them the way I bring it to you, the smart people, every night. It's sad. And I do think we need to put them all on the prayer list. Pray for their well-being and pray that they don't mess it up for the rest of us. All right, I have to take a break now. More coming up. Hang on.
The TJ Ritchie Show is on. More next on Charlotte's FM News Talk 107.9 WBT. He's Charlotte's most charmed and dangerous. Always speaking the truth, whether you like it or not. It's TJ Ritchie on Charlotte's FM News Talk 107.9 FM WBT.
America's coolest conservative, on the air everywhere. Old, white, and gifted, and a big old chunk of sweet white chocolate. Thank you so much for listening to this show. I appreciate it. And don't forget, you can have the immense honor of meeting me in person at News and Brews. That's right. You heard it correctly. It's Tuesday, May 12th. I will be at Heist Brewery and Barrel Arts for a night of delicious food, drinks, and Q&A. I don't know if I'm going to be performing any other of my talents other than just speaking, but I will let you know closer to the show. I heard that maybe some of the other people from the radio station are going to be there, but that doesn't matter. Who cares? Nobody. That's who. I mean, seriously. I mean, I'm cordial to them and all that, but when it comes down to it, if you want to see a live show from a stage, There's nobody else that you're going to give one damn about seeing that speaks on this radio station. Maybe Boomer Von Cannon. Other than that, it's me, baby. That's who people are coming to see. That's who's putting the butts in the seats at News and Brews. Nobody from the morning show. No damn body. That's who. Does anybody care about seeing Pete Callender? Please. Vince Coakley. I don't think so. What's that other fella? Who's that other fella? What's that show you work on, Lonnie, other than this one? What's it called?
Breaking Brett Jensen.
No, I know him. What's that other one's name?
Brett Winterble.
Winterble, that's right. Nobody cares about seeing either one of the Bretts. The Brett twins, they're called. It's me. So you better go get those tickets fast. They're at WBT.com. So there. Hopefully you're lucky enough to snatch up some of the final tickets, because I know they're probably almost gone now once word got out that I'm going to be there. All right, I have to go through some of the, in all seriousness, it's going to be fun. I'm just joking. I'm just having fun with you. I'm going to try to go through these text messages that come in, because some of them need to be addressed. But, I'm always honest with you about behind the scenes stuff. And I'm going to tell you, this text program is stupid. It sucks when you're trying to go through them effortlessly, segueing from one to the other on the air live. Because every time you send a text message, it sends an automatic response. So when I look up there and I want to go back to a text message that somebody has sent, every one of the subject lines is the same exact thing. It all says, thank you for connecting with us, because it's that automated response thing. So then I got to click on each one to see if that's the one that I want to read. It's ridiculous. But hey, they do what they can. I see here that the program is made in British Columbia, so that's probably the problem. Stinking Canadians. What do they know? Nothing. All right. So let's see. And if you hear me going, that's because I'm searching for the ones that I need to respond to on this. Sorry. Here's one. Tell me why all Republicans pretend to be Christians, to love the Jesus, God, etc., but they're the most diabolical creatures, evil people. They are literally hiding behind the church to cover their insanity. What a shame. This is one of the laziest cop-out arguments that anybody has about conservatives. They all say this. All the people who want to automatically, just because they don't know what they're talking about, just automatically bring up the fact that they think conservatives are Christians, but how can they be Christians when they disagree with me? These are people who really, I suspect, don't know anything about Christianity. Just like in the abortion argument, they are the ones that always bring up God in the abortion argument. We'll sit and argue back and forth all day. When does life begin? When does life begin? Is an unborn baby life? Does it begin at conception? Does it begin in the third trimester? Where do you think life begins? And then they will say, you are pushing your religious beliefs down my throat. Whereas we do believe it, in our religious views about abortion, but we don't throw that out in the argument. We're always talking about the science of it. And then they say, you're hiding behind your Christian belief. Don't you? They bring religion into it. This is an argument that I hear, this same thing I hear people say all the time who are liberals, and they're also not Christians. They don't know Christianity. And most of the time, they're not Southern. Because they moved us down here from the north or somewhere else in the Midwest, and they come down here and they think, oh, Southern hospitality is tied to Christian. They hide behind their Christianity, and then they stab you in the back. That means that you can't just come down here and run over Southerners because we're Christians and just say, oh, yeah, sure, have whatever you want, do whatever you want, say whatever you want, make fun of us all you want, say we're backwards all you want. We won't say anything to you because we can't judge you because we're Christians. We don't just give you, a full pass into saying and doing whatever you want without any blowback, without taking up for ourselves. So then they'll hit you with that. They hide behind it. They hide behind their Christianity and their love for Jesus and God. But they're so diabolical. Evil people. Get out of here. We're still going to take up for ourselves and what we believe is right. It doesn't mean we're not Christians or that we're hiding behind Christianity. We just don't want to be run over. We have values. We have principles just like you do. So that's an argument that so many people use. It's not original. It's a lazy argument. But thanks for listening. See, now I'm sounding diabolical to this person, I'm sure. All right, hang on. We got more of this stuff coming. I'm going to get into more of them in the next hour. Hang on.